Hello, welcome to Science Chomp. Today we're going to be looking at acceleration. Now the formula is represented by this triangle over here, and it looks complicated, but it's actually quite simple. We can say in simple terms that acceleration is the change in velocity divided by the time. What I've done is I've said the change in velocity is v minus u, and all that means is it's the final velocity minus the initial velocity. And we'll look at examples of that in a second. So just to reiterate, the way we use these triangles, if I wanted to work out A, which is acceleration, I'd cover up A, and what I'd have is, what I'd be left with is v minus u divided by t. If I wanted to work out t, I'd cover up the t, and I'd be left with v minus u divided by a. And if I wanted to work out the change in velocity, which is this, what I would do is cover up the change in velocity, and I would be left with a times t. Okay? Now, just to reiterate, velocity is measured in meters per second. Acceleration is measured in meters per second, or meters per second squared. They both mean the same thing. And time is measured in seconds. So let's have a look at an example. I'm going to have a look at question number 3 over here. It says a cyclist in the Tour de France accelerates down a hill from 22 meters per second to 37 meters per second. This acceleration takes him 2 seconds. Calculate the acceleration. So let's try that out. First of all, I want my triangle. So let's just draw that. It's v minus u like that, a times t, where a would be equal to v minus u divided by t. Now v is the final velocity, and his final speed was 37 meters per second. And his starting speed was 22 meters per second, divided by the time taken, which is 2 seconds. So if you work out 37 minus 22, you get 15. And 15 divided by 2 would be 7.5. And because it's an acceleration, it's meters per second, like that. Let's have a look at another example. Let me just get a new piece of paper here. This one here, question number 4. It says, a rocket launching in the Ukraine accelerates upwards from rest to a speed of 12 kilometers per second in 8 seconds. Calculate the acceleration. Okay, so let's start off with our equation. So acceleration is v minus u divided by t. So the final speed, v, is 12 kilometers per second. Okay, now it's interesting that they're using 12 kilometers per second, the unit, and we'll have a look at how that affects the unit for acceleration in a minute. Okay, and it gets to 12 kilometers per second from rest. Now rest is 0, so it's 12 minus 0 divided by, and it says 8 seconds. Okay, so that's the same as saying 12 divided by 8. It would be the same. Okay, so let's do that on our calculator. 12 divided by 8, which equals 1.5. Now this is the interesting thing. What are my units going to be? Because this was in kilometers per second and this was in seconds. So you can see it's kilometers per second divided by seconds. We're just going to write kilometers per second per second. It's so easy. Okay? In the next video, I'll show you how to work out time.